Right now, billions of dollars in liquidity flow through DeFi. Decentralized finance is a system of peer-to-peer financial tools built on blockchain technology. This ecosystem generates vast, untapped yield opportunities that traditional savings accounts simply cannot match. But capturing that yield is extremely difficult. That liquidity is currently scattered across more than 22 different blockchains and thousands of completely incompatible protocols. They do not talk to each other easily. This diagram shows the marathon an everyday user has to run just to earn a return on their assets. You have to bridge your funds to a new network, swap for the correct tokens, stake them in a specific smart contract, and then monitor your position around the clock to avoid liquidation. Mega platforms like Kraken and Bybit have over 80 million users who want access to these returns. But an exchange cannot expose its retail customer base to this raw, error-prone friction. One wrong click, and a user's funds are permanently lost. Web3 adoption has hit a ceiling. To reach global scale, this hyper-complex ecosystem must be hidden away. All the manual bridging, swapping, and staking needs to be consolidated into a single, abstracted layer, the on-chain vault. Historically, developers faced a massive bottleneck when trying to build that abstraction layer. Wiring together a multi-step financial strategy required weeks of writing custom code, testing for edge cases, and paying for incredibly expensive security audits. Every new strategy meant starting from scratch. The solution arrived at the base layer through execution engines like Enso. These engines provide developers with pre-built logic paths known as shortcuts. This animation illustrates how a shortcut actually works. It takes a fragmented sequence of logic, depositing a token, bridging it to a new chain, swapping it, and finally lending it out, and bundles those separate actions together. Developers can now trigger that entire sequence through a single API call. An API, or Application Programming Interface, is simply a set of rules that lets different software programs talk to each other. This allows developers to plug and play complex actions and ship secure products in days rather than months. By treating these functions as interchangeable blocks, decentralized finance becomes entirely programmable and modular. The heavy back-end friction that previously stalled product innovation is stripped away. By solving the execution bottleneck with shortcuts, developers finally have the stable, standardized wiring they need. Now they can build the structural housing for these financial strategies, the vault. The on-chain vault acts as the chassis of this new financial stack. It is a smart contract, a self-executing program stored on a blockchain that pools digital assets together. It replaces the expensive manual labor of traditional fund administration entirely. This diagram shows the automated infrastructure in action, using platforms like Lagoon, Veda, or Morpho. The vault autonomously pulls in user deposits, slices off a defined percentage for operational fees, and standardizes how those assets move across different chains. If the vault is merely an automated chassis waiting for instructions, who actually decides where the money goes and how much risk is taken? That role belongs to curators. A curator can be a financial expert, an institution, or even a DAO. A DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, is a group governed by code and community voting rather than a central leader. The curators are the drivers behind the wheel. Curators use the vault infrastructure to allocate capital and design highly specific risk profiles. They manage the NAV, the net asset value, which is the total value of the vault's assets minus its liabilities, and they do it all without needing to write a single line of code. Because curators absorb the heavy analytical burden of evaluating market conditions, the end user doesn't have to. The curator transforms this piece of automated software into a complete, turnkey financial product. This diagram reveals the completed financial stack. You have the shortcuts providing the wiring at the bottom, the vault and curator serving as the engine in the middle, and a sleek user interface layered right on top. All the underlying complexity is perfectly hidden. We are already seeing this deployed at scale. Right now, Veda's vault infrastructure is powering Kraken's DeFi Earn platform, allowing millions of verified exchange users to access decentralized yield. Simultaneously, protocols like Beefy and CN are powering the Mantle Vault on Bybit. They are actively pulling deep on-chain yield directly into the accounts of everyday traders. For the consumer on these platforms, the experience is radically simplified. A user deposits their stablecoins, cryptocurrencies pegged to a stable asset like the US dollar, and clicks a single Earn button. They are completely unaware of the multi-chain strategies executing in the background. This creates a powerful feedback loop known as the DeFi flywheel. Massive reserves of centralized capital flow smoothly onto decentralized networks. This deepens the TVL, total value locked, or overall amount of assets deposited in a protocol, which in turn facilitates higher yield for the entire ecosystem. The vault provides the infrastructure that connects these two environments. It allows the verifiable, permissionless power of Web3 to function within the streamlined, compliant packaging of traditional tech. Consumers get the yield, developers get the tools, and the chaos is finally contained.